Hello and welcome to the Blue Shadow Podcast. My name is Joey.
I'm Dan.
And today I am personally very excited to talk about one of my favorite Star Wars things, the sequels.
Sequels are great.
They are.
I'm not as attached, as you guys may have picked up on.
And that's okay.
We are planning a rewatch though.
Yes.
Little movie club.
It is. And I can enlighten Dan and you guys as to why I love them so much. It doesn't mean you have to, but I can just share my thoughts. But this week is not about the movies themselves, but rather sequel trilogy Lego sets. What is bringing this exact topic on, and we'll share exactly how we're going to talk about this in a second, is the fact that a recent character encyclopedia has been revealed to include a Lego minifigure of the revitalized Palpatine from Episode 9. Oh my goodness.
The red clothes.
The red, yeah, and it's got a little dress piece at the bottom.
It's the Battlefront character I play.
Yes, I'm just so thrilled about it because they have not made a Lego sequel set since 2020, which is very disappointing to me. There is rumors of a midi-scale Kylo Ren ship for 2025, which is exciting.
That is. But
this, for me, is kind of like the stuff I want. Like, I would have preferred a set with this figure. Mm-hmm. And that kind of got me thinking for what our actual topic for this episode is. And that is, what are some sequel Lego sets that we want that do not exist currently? They're, much like the whole marketing and merchandising blitz throughout the sequels, kind of changed. The amount of Lego sets changed too. Force Awakens had a ton. Mm-hmm. The Last Jedi had, a little bit more, and The Rise of Skywalker had relatively few.
Yeah.
I think this is kind of a crime against humanity, especially because we get so many. How many original trilogy X-Wings can we get? How many Cantinas can we get? I want some sequel sets.
How many Ghosts can we get?
They've only produced 2.
Okay. Well,
one was in 2014.
That's 200% more than some of the sequel sets we get.
Well, that is true. I would not trade it. Dan, we're currently in a room with the Lego Ghost from Ahsoka. Yeah. One of my favorite Lego sets ever.
I know.
If not the actual
I
favorite.
cherry-picked it, so...
He did. It's okay. And I like when you call it my hypocrisy because it's certainly there sometimes.
It's okay.
But nevertheless, that brings us to the topic here. We're going to each propose 3 sets, and we're going to give you an approximate price, the minifigures that we'd like to see included, trying to be slightly realistic in the fact that, they sometimes get a little skimpy with it. Mm-hmm. And also give you a little brief description of it.
If you go back to some of our early episodes, we've done this once before.
We've done Lego sets we want, not specifically the sequels.
Yes.
Thank you. I think
the format we've done before.
Yeah, this is one of our first things, I think, right?
Yeah, no, this was
ages ago.
Very, very early on.
Yeah, so I'm excited to kind of revisit it because I definitely think one that I talked about is on here, but it is not my top one, which is exciting. We normally do honorable mentions for stuff like this, and I poorly communicated to Dan what I wanted this episode to be, so I have 2 honorable mentions for both of us.
I just want to, kind of clarify that. I got a text bubble of, how about these ideas? 1 period sentence, 2 period sentence, 3 2 words, 4 period sentence. So here we are. This was number 3. This was the 2-sentence one. 2-word one. It was sequels Legos.
I think I said sets we want or something.
Oh.
But with no character, no description of it in there. But Dan did take time and come up with his list and everything. But I have honorable mentions. The first honorable mention is Rey versus Kylo Ren on Kijimi.
Oh,
and
be a cool one.
I thought this could be about a $30 set. Just have Rey, Kylo. And it would have, this is one of my favorite, scenes from The Rise of Skywalker, where we have the perspective switching. Mm-hmm. Kind of like taking the dyad connection is making them take place in both Kylo's ship and on Kijimi. So I thought that could be a really cool, one of those small sets. They used to do the sets where they were small 2-character lightsaber battles. There was, the one from The Force Awakens, Anakin and Obi-Wan. I wish that would come back. That's one honorable mention. The second one, they've been doing these midi-scale ships.
Yes.
I thought, how cool would it be if they kind of have the fleet at Exegol all on little clear stands on
goodness.
And they would be advent calendar size, and they wouldn't have all of them.
That's what it is. It's an advent calendar. And
the Battle of Exegol advent calendar.
Every day you add a new ship to the fleet.
It's actually pretty cool, and they could do a display. I find with the Lego advent calendars, Dan and I both get them.
And what'd you say? Stay tuned. We will be talking about them.
Yes, I'm quite excited about it.
Yes.
I also, I usually think though that they're I kind of just end up putting most of the stuff in a little baggie and putting it in my bin upstairs in the closet. But this could kind of give you like a purpose to it, like put it all together into one thing.
Yeah.
Which I would really love. But my honorable mentions aside, that kind of takes us to our top 3, the actual things we're trying to talk about today. And you can go first, Dan, with your number 3.
We're going based on just how bad we want it, like size, price,
the one you want will be the last one you talk about.
Okay. So, if you guys have listened to us, you know Joey's not a ship person.
Not necessarily.
I am. So I would personally like Snoke's supremacy on the MIDI scale. The Dorito would be really cool. And
it would be so cool.
And you get to see the size. Like, I mean, we get to see with the Executor the little scale of the Super Star Destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm envisioning that as well, just to really show how big it is. So I forget. I saw the scale of it one day and just how long it actually was.
It was like the size of some U.S. state. I forget what it is, but it's enormous.
It's a huge, huge thing.
And I think they always do cool stuff with those kind of sets where they'll like use little like stacks of studs to represent characters. So they could kind of like have, as you're building it, like the throne room in there.
Stack of studs. How big do you think this set is? If we're doing those as our characters,
I think it wouldn't be truly to scale because it's going to be shut, closed off. But
true.
Yes, you are correct in that. Like, it would be relatively big. What did you have for your price there, Dan?
Yeah. So did we talk about that? How this is set up? So
yes, we did.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So the price for this would be, I think about $85. It'd be on the larger side.
Mm-hmm.
You could even do this as an anniversary one. Maybe throw in. I originally didn't think of a minifigure in there.
Mm-hmm.
However, you could do Admiral Holdo as the anniversary figure with it.
They only made her in one set forever ago, and it wasn't very good.
Yeah.
So I think using like the whole dress piece would be very, very cool.
And I think it would just be a nice little Easter egg because if you know, you know.
They could make it so it like splits apart too, like an alternate display method.
Okay, now we're up to $100.
What
other modifications do we want to add?
Never mind. Between a figure, I mean that may be $125 between a figure and an alternate build.
Yeah.
But no, I think
that's
it's wonderful.
Make the scale. But I think it would be cool. It'd be a nice little. It'd be a wall piece.
Yes.
Not the full size, but I think it'd be really sweet.
Yeah, I love it.
I would personally buy it. But again, I do like ships, and if you like ships, it is a set tailored towards you.
And a very unique ship that is unlike. I mean, yes, it looks like a Star Destroyer, but it's unlike any ship that we've seen in Star Wars before. So I think it would be a great candidate for Lego set.
Yeah.
And just getting that scale just right would be like the trick, though.
And that's just it. You get to really see. I think the sets do a good job of just giving the scale of like. Mm-hmm. Just how big things are.
Yes, and I think that they would 100% do it well. Yeah, you all done with your number 3?
What's your number 3?
Sweet. My number 3 is Luke versus Kylo Ren on Crate. Ooh. I think, again, I've talked about how much I love these dual sets. Mm-hmm. And you'll see there's kind of a theme running through that here, where I want a set like this between $40 and $50, just Kylo and Luke, but they really did not make many sets on Crate. There's the Ski Speeder and then the AT M6, the big walker.
Yeah.
They included little tiny plates with like red and white, but I think finding a way to really illustrate the dynamic nature of like the dust and like how it's white on top exposing the red underneath.
I'm kind of picturing like the Ahsoka on like the set that I'm actually staring at.
Yeah, like the duel on Peridia is what that set is called. Yeah,
that style. And it's very easy to do too because you could do like the double layer, you can have it exposed.
And I think it would just be play to the strength of Lego with the bright colors popping. Mm-hmm. And I think that Luke minifigure is something that, I guess I didn't say minifigures, obviously, I think I said Kylo and Luke. That Luke minifigure would be so cool. Something that they made like a vintage collection 3 3/4 inch action figure, but they never made a full Black Series figure. Yeah. I think as a Luke Skywalker fan, Dan's a huge Luke Skywalker fan, independent of whatever movie it is. Yeah. That's something that I feel like a Luke Skywalker fan would want.
Oh, absolutely.
I love Luke too, but he's not like one of my top. But I think this is a set that would be 100% interesting. Kind of thinking of it like, like maybe an 18 plus set, like that Ahsoka Duel on Peridia set is kind of practically one where like it could be on the back base plate or it could be like that. And you're just kind of finding a way to really get that red and white contrast.
That's the challenge because I feel like if you have to do it well. Uh-huh. And it definitely can be done. We can have a planning meeting on how we want to pitch this to Lego later.
Yeah, I think you would have to almost like you couldn't just do plates because it would look like a floor. No. It almost like the red would have to be like studs and then the white could be like Jinx, yes. Like I don't know. Hey, we're not. They don't pay us to do
plenty
this.
of time to figure it out.
It's true. But yeah, that's my number 3. An interesting one for sure, and one that I'm surprised hasn't been made yet.
I think
truthfully,
I think it's just a little challenging. How are we going to get the red and the white?
well, I'll go to Denmark if they want me to.
Have fun.
Oh my god. Anyway,
Business expense.
That takes us to your number 2.
So my number 2 is probably the biggest set on my list, and that is Aging Kloss, the Resistance base from the Rise of Skywalker.
Woohoo.
So I really did model this off of the Yavin 4 Rebel base, which I love. I want. I physically do not have the space for it. So not to directly copy that, but it would be very similar price wise, about 170, maybe 175, depending on what actually you get with it and how we want to build it up. So this is going to be the heaviest minifigure set I have. So right now I have Rey, Finn, Poe, BB-8, Leia, 3PO, and a couple of Resistance fighters. Maybe like a smaller version of Poe's X-Wing. But not too sure. But I think that'd be cool, especially if you put them next to each other.
Yeah.
It'd be like the progression.
Then and now.
Yeah.
That's an incredibly interesting set. And you mentioned your figures, and the one that I most desperately want is the Rise of Skywalker Leia.
Yeah.
It's such a cool outfit. And the way that they were able to work that in and have it feel so natural with Carrie Fisher was so great. And I would love to have that in Lego figure form.
Me too. I'm a little biased. I want all of these in Lego figure form.
It's true. I have a lot of them in Lego figure form. I think some like Rose could fit in there too if we really wanted to. Lieutenant Connix.
I'm trying to keep price down.
I know,
because it's easier to mass produce some Resistance fighters instead
100%.
of named characters.
And if you look at that set, there are named characters, but the Yavin set, there are named characters, but there's a lot of troops.
Yeah.
Anything else to add on your about Agent Kloss?
No.
All right.
How about you? I'm excited for your number 2.
My number 2 is that one that I've talked about before for certain. I again say I would have rathered a set than the cool Palpatine minifigure being a book, but I think we could still get a set themed to Exegol in this capacity, and I would call it something like the Final Confrontation on Exegol. In my mind, I have about $75 where it comes with Claw Palpatine, and you build that whole claw arm out. The throne is there, and it's kind of on, again, much like the Duel Imperia set, it's kind of like built out, like my wife calls it a slab. If it's your Lego slab, then sure, whatever. So you have your Lego slab, and then you would have the claw, the throne, and then it would also come with little baby evil clone Palpatine that's not the revitalized one, like the zombie one, and then Rey and Ben Solo.
Oh, I love how you said Ben Solo.
I did say Ben Solo, and I mean it. I initially toyed with like some of those other troopers like that were there to protect Palpatine in the red, but I was like, no, let's keep it simple.
Do a battle pack of the Force Ghosts.
Well, they weren't in the scene though.
Well, their voices were.
Their voices, they don't have Lego voices. Oh my god, one of those audio bricks. They do actually have that. It was in like the Harry Potter hat. But the reason I have this as $75 is because I don't think that it necessarily should be like a full-on like diorama display set. I think it should have some like play functionality, and it should be relatively big, even though that and realistically, a set of that size might come with one or two of those troopers. But yeah, I think this is such an iconic moment from the movie, from the saga as a whole. It is important whether you are a sequel fan or not. And I think it's something that should be a Lego set.
That's fair. Speaking of dioramas, that brings me to my number 1. So I'm going to work backwards. So this diorama I think would be about $100, give or take. The characters would be Han Solo, Kylo Ren, and Chewbacca. And the set would be the face-off on Starkiller Base. The way I'm envisioning the set, so it's built on a diorama slab, and it's elevated on both sides. So, and then I don't know what we would actually do to the slab, and then obviously have Han Solo and Kylo Ren meet at the middle. I think it'd be really cool. I think you can get really morbid and have Han Solo on the base.
It's so rude.
Maybe
it includes like the clear superhero like flying pieces. Yeah, and he can be falling down. I think it would be so unique.
And I don't think it's something that's so far fetched. I mean, you harp on me buying the Return of the Jedi one.
Yes, the one that's retiring this year.
Okay, thank you. But I'm picturing something like that, but definitely elevated. You can maybe add Rey and Finn, but I don't want to drive the price up. Like,
I think
you
it
could even cut Chewbacca and get some of the cost down too.
and I think that all depends on, like, I think you could, I'm envisioning it kind of like you're saying, like the around the middle, it would kind of look similar to, do you know the Cloud City dual set? Like the black base plates were like covering the part where it was like elevated. I feel like it looked something like that.
Yeah.
You know, obviously a little more built up. That one's very narrow. It wasn't as expensive. But I think that would be, it's such an important scene.
Yeah.
And the 10th anniversary of The Force Awakens is coming up, and we're recording this in November 2024. This will be coming up in next year, December 2025. I know.
No.
That's disgusting.
Well, if we were making an anniversary set, we could throw an anniversary figure in there as well. I don't know who it would be. Maybe Hux.
General Hux. I want...
He played a pretty pivotal role in The Force Awakens.
I think he was important in all the movies, even though they kind of... I like the direction they took him, making him more comedic, but...
Maybe Phasma.
They haven't made a Phasma in ages. Last Jedi. But yeah, no, I think that would be a fantastic set. Depressing, but fantastic for sure. And a really important moment. And you've seen it's instrumental in Ben Solo turning to the light side in Rise of Skywalker too. So yeah. Anything else to add about your number one?
No, sorry, it's a little sad.
It is sad, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Depression day.
It really solidified, like you said, it solidified Kylo Ren as the villain first, and it also solidified the return to Ben Solo. Like
he knew it was a mistake the whole time.
Oh yeah, he knew.
Uh-huh.
He didn't. You could tell in the moment he didn't want to do it.
Yep.
But
yeah, no, that's a powerful scene. Would be a wonderful Lego set.
Especially powerful watching it with an orchestra.
That is true. We did get to see that. If you've heard us talk about before, we get to see The Force Awakens with an orchestra. If you ever get the chance, please do it.
Shameless plug.
Oh yeah, highly recommend. Ready for my number one?
I am.
Do you have a guess? I know we don't necessarily always love doing guesses, but
Ooh. Can I get it?
9.
Oh, Babu Frick's Workshop.
Yes, my number one is Babu Frick's Workshop. I got grand plans for this one here.
Oh, I'm sure.
This is the least realistic. My sets probably went from most realistic to least realistic to actually happen. Not that Babu Frick's wouldn't happen, but the way that I'm describing it is not what would happen. But we're dreaming here. We make the rules. I'm pitching a $150 18 plus set in which you have essentially the whole workshop built out. This comes with Babu, Rey, Poe, Finn, C-3PO, Zori Bliss, BB-8, and Dio.
You want fries with that?
Yes. What I'm describing here is it's fully built out. You've got the chair for 3PO and little Babu, who you've seen. You can see what he looks like in the Skywalker Saga game. I love that little piece. I want it so desperately. But the chair's there, the workshop's there, and I think it would be so cool to like really have accents, of the like little droids and pipes and like all the little junk he had in there. I think it would be so cool, and it's my most wanted set purely because I want the little Babu Frick. I think this could very easily be a $35 to $45 set.
Dream big
with a lot less, but I am dreaming big. I'm being totally unrealistic.
Yeah, no, you're not. It's pretty pivotal.
I think Babu Frick is popular relative to some of the more niche characters in the sequels.
Yeah, that's right.
He spawned the Anzellans that are huge in The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is one of my favorite scenes for both comedy and heart in the movie, and I just would absolutely love it.
No, that'd be great. Yeah, I'm not going to say I'd buy it. I'd see the appeal.
You would come over and enjoy looking at it at my house.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, can I hold little Babu?
Yeah, what new Return of the Jedi set's coming out?
Don't worry. All they do is make Return of the Jedi.
Ooh.
It is the 40th anniversary.
My name's Joey, and I don't like that movies are popular.
I love that movies are popular, but I need a little representation, which is the whole theme of this episode. I want to leave us on one question for each of us. Which set would you buy from my list, and vice versa? Mm-hmm. Money's no object, Which set would you most want?
I think the Exegol one, Battle on Exegol. I think
it's so cool. I mean, look, I imagine this, and there are mocks online. The claw arm Palpatine.
You could even build the claw arm up too if you wanted to make it a little more expensive.
And really have it because it's enormous.
Big thing. It's the claw.
The claw. I love it. We don't talk about Toy Story enough.
No.
For me, I would probably buy. Oh, this is tricky because you pick some good ones over there.
But they're also. I also picked some that aren't in your wheelhouse.
Not at all.
Unintentionally. Like, I didn't... We are very different in our what do we like in Lego.
And Lego and in Star Wars, it's a miracle that we like the same thing, but it's like at every turn, it's like different. My first instinct is the agent class.
Yeah.
I want that Leia.
Leia aside, imagine she wasn't in there.
I still would probably go with that because I love the jungle planet. I think you could do a cool thing with, like you said, having little versions of the ships, maybe like the cave built out kind of. I think that would probably be my first choice. So that's the one I'm going to go with. I would probably buy all three, though.
That's fair. Me too.
The Force Awakens one's sad, but it's okay. I like that you had one from each movie.
That was unintentional.
I know, but you did, though. Anything else to add there?
Go me. No. If there's any that you like, actually tell us. Which would you prefer to buy from our list? If any. And if you don't like them, would not want to purchase it, that's okay too. Let us know which one you would like.
Yes, we loved it. We really would love to hear from you. Please tell us why you would love that Babu Frick set and more by giving us a follow on Twitter or X at Blue Shadow Pod or on Instagram at Blue Shadow Podcast. Please let us know the sets again, like Dan said, that you want. And consider giving us a like or subscription on YouTube or on the podcast platform of your choice at... Jesus. Wow, I did it backwards because it worked well with Twitter.
Yeah.
But I kind of flummered there. Anyway, I'm going to start over. Be sure to leave us a review, a subscription on YouTube or the podcast platform of your choice. And with that, thank you so much. And for listening, we really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.